Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm a nursing student at AUT and today I'm going to be sharing with you my #1 resource for nursing students. This resource has changed my life, saved my grades and also given me back the confidence I have in my ability to learn and also succeed in nursing school. I'm talking about an online resource called Lecturio, which is an American study subscription service targeted at medical and nursing students. I just want to quickly preface this video by saying that this isn't sponsored or a collab with Lecturio. This is just a review of my own. All of the opinions I state in this video are purely my own. Before we get into this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, but for now, let's just dive right in. So we'll start with the lows of Lecturio just to get it out of the way. There's not that many that I could think of just because I think that Lecturio is a pretty great resource to have, especially if you're a nursing student, but there were a few that I came up with, so here we go. So the first downside to Lecturio is that the subscription cost is a little expensive. You can have a free membership with Lecturio, but a lot of the features which are really helpful, such as a lot of the videos and practice tests, are locked if you have the free membership, which is kind of a bummer because those are the resources which are the most helpful. If you participate in some of their webinars, you can get a discount code. That's what I did, and through those they give you like a discount code, and those are free to apply. And once you've completed the webinar, typically they'll provide you with like a discount code. The next low is that it is American based, which is great if you are a nursing student in America, but if you're like me and you're abroad, you're in New Zealand for example, not everything that is on Lecturio is entirely relevant. For example, when I'm going through the pharmacology modules, I have to be very careful about the information that I take in, just because some medications that they have in the US we don't have over here, or they go by different names. So this just means that I have to take more time to go through MedSafe and New Zealand formulary just to check that the information that I'm accessing on Lecturio is relevant to my New Zealand study. And the final downside to Lecturio, which I could think of, is the fact that they don't have any resources like worksheets that are available to download, at least not yet. And I feel like if they had more resources, it would just make the service even better than it already is. But those were the only 3 downsides that I could really think of. Now onto what I really wanted to talk about, which is all of the positives of Lecturio and just why I love it so much. So the first reason why I absolutely adore Lecturio is because they have a comprehensive selection of lectures which are all cut down into bite-sized chunks. So all of the videos on Lecturio are anywhere between 1 minute to 10 minutes long. You can go through the content at your own pace, which is really great if you're a slow learner like me, because you're not going to get overwhelmed with an onslaught of information, and you can go back if you need to. Each video also has a transcript if you need a visual aid as well to go along with what you're listening, and the concepts are also explained at a perfect pace. You can also set the speed of the videos. If you need things to go a bit slower or a bit quicker, you can do that. And also another thing is that every video has a little comment box below it. So if you're really confused about something like the content, you can just type down in the comment section for one of the content creators or nurses who work for Lecturio, and they will answer it quite quickly. I've done this twice and I've gotten a response within like 2 days, which is really quick because it's such a big service. So another thing that I really love about Lecturio is that they use evidence-based study methods in order to help you really retain the information that you're taking in and feel confident with the information that you're learning. So for example, at the end of each video, Lecturio has 2 to 4 questions which just test you on your understanding of the content that you've just consumed. And once you've answered these questions, they get saved and put into your spaced repetition folder, so you can go back and beat the forgetting curve so that you really retain the information, which is just excellent. Another thing that at the end of each video there's a little box which you can write your own notes in, anything that you can remember from the video. This is active recalling, just from after you've watched the video, and it just helps you remember all of the content that you've just, as I say, taken in. These notes get saved into its own section which you can go back and review later. Going back to the spaced repetition quiz questions, these are really great because, as I say, once you answer them, they get added to your spaced repetition flashcard deck, which prompts you to go back and answer the question depending on how well you know the answer. You will see the cards as often as you need to prevent you from forgetting the answer. It helps store the information in your memory, and it helps you beat the forgetting curve of your brain. Lecturio is also brilliant because it gives you the chance to do multiple choice exams, which you can customize in terms of content, how many questions, and also the difficulty. In New Zealand, I found that there aren't a lot of practice nursing exams available, which I think is a little silly, seeing as I'm pretty sure that our state's exam is a multiple choice thing. And so having this option for practice exams on Lecturio is really, really great. It helps me stress less about preparing for the state's exam, as well as letting me adequately test how well I know the content. I will say the only downside to the multiple choice practice exams is that there are a limited amount of questions for each content. So once you've seen the question, the answer, and you've gone through them all, there's nothing new to kind of test your knowledge. Apart from that, the multiple choice exams are really, really great, and I wish in New Zealand we had more products like this, or more exams, practice exams available, just because practice questions and practice exams are like one of the best ways that we can test ourselves and study. Yeah, I wish New Zealand had more of this, but I'm so happy that Lecturio has this option, and I use it all the time. So as I mentioned previously, with the Lecturio sometimes offers free discount codes to people. So Lecturio also sometimes offers the free webinars that I was talking about. So I did 2 of them, as I said before, and it was what encouraged me to take the leap and get the annual subscription. So the first one I signed up for was a How to Survive Nursing School webinar with Nurse Liz, and the second one I did was a drug calculation webinar, which was super helpful because at the time I did that webinar we were doing drug calculations and pharmacology. So these webinars are great because not only are you learning all of this information, they're free, and they also connect you with nursing students from all around the world. I think the only one from New Zealand, but there were people from the US, there were people from the UK, people from the Philippines, from Japan, from Australia. There were just people from all over the world, and it was just really nice to know that we're all in the same boat no matter where we are. Once you finish the webinar, oftentimes Lecturio will give you a free discount code which decreases the cost of your subscription, which is really, really helpful bringing the cost down, especially if you're like me and you're a student working part-time on minimum wage. Another thing that I love about Lecturio is that it has a study planner and study pathways. So if you've got an upcoming exam, for example, or you need to revise and you want to give yourself like a set deadline, then you can do this on Lecturio, and it will calculate how much time per day you need to spend on the content in order to achieve your goal before your exam or whatever it is that you're working towards. You can also bookmark videos and content too. So if you're interested in a topic but you want to save it for later, you can do so. Another thing that I really like is that there are separate courses for nursing students and medical students. Obviously there's some crossover, but depending on what you're studying, you're going to get your own personalized course and personalized content. The final thing that I love about Lecturio is that it's available online, which is where I mainly use it on my laptop, and it's also available as an app, which means that you can take it with you on your phone and you can take it with you everywhere and do it like practice questions and watch content just while you're out and about. So if you're waiting for a bus or if you're commuting to uni or to work, you can just be on your Lecturio app and just get that extra study in. So overall, I absolutely love Lecturio. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's been an absolute lifesaver for me, and I genuinely do think that the highlights override the downsides. Even though the subscription fee is a little bit expensive, it is definitely totally worth it, especially if you're like me and you use it pretty much every day. It's worth it for the volume of resources, for the results in your grades, the support and the content that you're getting from the nurses and the creators who work for Lecturio. I would say that if you're going to invest in anything for your nursing school journey, then definitely consider getting Lecturio. As I say, you don't have to be an American nursing student to be able to use it. I am in New Zealand and I'm I'm using it, I just, for some aspects, for example, of pharmacology, I just alter my practice a little bit and double check things using New Zealand resources like the New Zealand formulary. Yeah, as I say, it was an absolute lifesaver, especially last year when I was having a lot of self-doubt issues and I really was feeling quite low because I felt really incompetent and like I couldn't remember everything and that I couldn't learn everything and that I wasn't studying properly. Having lecturio and using it more regularly and actually really diving into the content was a game changer in my confidence and my abilities and my competence. Anyway, that was today's video. I really hope that you guys found it helpful and that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. I'll see you next Monday with a new video. Until then, have a lovely day and a fabulous week. Bye!